The Curse of the Enchanted Tree. In the depths of the dense forest, where sunlight barely touched the ground, the trees intertwined as if they were prisons of shadows, and no creature could escape their gaze. In this forbidden region lived a poor woodcutter named Abu Zaeem. Every day, he would leave his home before dawn and not return until sunset. He spent his day gathering firewood and then went to the market to sell it, earning just enough for his daily bread and oil. He would return to his small family, eagerly awaited by his kind wife and 2 children, Zaeem and Zaeema, who sat eagerly awaiting his return. But one day, it seemed that the routine had become too heavy on his heart. He thought to himself, if I venture deeper into the forest, I might find better firewood, and that might increase my income. Little did he know, this decision would change his life forever. As he walked into the heart of the forest, he felt something strange in the air, as if the very earth beneath his feet was trembling, and the trees whispered to him, urging him to continue. Suddenly, he spotted a giant tree, its trunk thick and its branches stretching to the sky, and its firewood looked of the finest quality. The tree was strange, to the point where it seemed to be watching him, feeling his presence and calling to him. He said to himself, this tree will give me enough firewood to last a whole month without running out. He raised his axe to strike the tree with his first blow, but he stopped at the last moment. He felt something strange, as if the tree was preventing him from getting closer, as though it were alive. The sensation was odd, but he decided to continue. The first blow fell on the tree, but what happened next was worse than any nightmare. Black liquid exploded from within it as if it were blood, spilling quickly onto the ground until it reached his feet. The liquid was sticky, as if it were glued to the earth, becoming part of it. Abu Zaeem was terrified and tried to wipe his feet quickly, but suddenly he felt something strange spreading through his body, as if something had entered him, and his limbs began to turn to stone. This is an enchanted tree. I must stay away from it, he whispered to himself, but he felt weak, his body trembling as if it could no longer move. He left the tree and ran quickly, but each step became heavier, as if his body was carrying mountains of rocks. He made his way home with great difficulty, and the pain grew with every step as he got closer to his family. That night, while trying to sleep, he suffered the worst pain he had ever known. His body burned with heat, and every part of him felt like it was on fire. He screamed in pain, but his voice was lost in the dark forest, as though the forest itself was swallowing him. The next morning, when the sun rose, Abu Zaeem discovered that he was no longer able to move his body. He had become completely paralyzed, as if the curse had turned his life upside down. He tried to move, but his body was as rigid as stone, as if the very soul of life had been drained from him. In that moment, Abu Zaeem realized that something much greater than a mere curse had befallen him. Something dark and magical controlled his fate. He realized that he had to face this dark force if he ever hoped to regain his life. In the end, he returned to his home with great difficulty, only to be shocked by the sight of his wife and children waiting for him eagerly. When they saw him in his condition, terror filled their hearts. Zaeema, with a voice filled with fear, Dad, what happened to you? Zaeem, with determination, we can't stay like this. We need to find a solution to this curse, no matter what it takes. We need the courage to face what's coming. End of the first episode. Get ready for the next episode where Zaeem begins his adventure to save his father.